Issues that you had with the past, that you have buried the past, you have put it behind you, and that is no longer an issue for you. And I applaud you if that's true, because I thought the same thing. I thought that I was not wrestling with abandonment issues, rejection, disappointments, the times that I had been discouraged, the self-doubt. I didn't believe I was wrestling with those things. I thought that I had packed them all away. But once I started this self-discovery journey, I realized that they were very much a part of my life. And I believe that if you do the work, you will discover that they are a part of your life. So I want to talk to you about fear. Now, fear is a little tiny four-letter word. It is false evidence appearing real. And to many of us, fear is huge. And fear is what paralyzes us, what restricts us, what stops us, cripples us from moving forward. We are fearful because we don't know what is outside of the little world or the little box that we have placed ourselves in. We have expectations, and because we have been disappointed and discouraged, that doesn't feel so good each time we have been discouraged and disappointed. So we stay where we are. That's fear. So I did some investigating, and I discovered that fear, which is false evidence appearing real, has children, has lots of children. I discovered 17 of them. But I'm only going to talk to you about 7 of them today. And it's not all going to be in this one video. It's going to be over a few other videos in the weeks coming. So if you didn't see last week's video, I invite you to review that when you have time. But pay attention to this one, because fear is false evidence appearing real. And I've said that several times. I haven't forgotten my place. I just want you to understand that it is false evidence appearing real. Now, in the Bible, in 2 Timothy, God said, I did not give you a spirit of fear, but I have given you power, love, and a sound mind, or self-control. 3 wonderful things: power, love, and self-control, or / sound mind. So if he didn't give us a spirit of fear, then how did we get to have this a part of us? How did it become a part of our makeup? Who gave it to us? Why are we fearful? Why do we get stuck? When we have power, we have love, and we have a sound mind. If you look in your Bible, you will find 366 fear not verses. That's right, 366 fear not verses. That's a fear not verse for every day of the year. And God didn't forget about leap year. That's why it's 366. So if God told us not to fear, why are we? Why do we fear? Why do we allow things to get us stuck? And it's because of fear. It's children. So I'm going to go over some of them. I'm going to name the 7 that I have a particular interest in. The first one is doubt. That's self-doubt. Another one is denial. Then there's disappointment, discouragement. There's delay. Another word for that is procrastination. There's discipline. And then there's distractions. And over the coming weeks, I'm going to talk to you about all of the children, but I want to talk to you about doubt, because that is our belief system. If you don't believe who you are, or believe in yourself, or you are full of other people's beliefs and opinions and thoughts about you, that's who you become. So I want to show you this. I hope that you can see this. This here is a sponge, which would represent you and I. And there's water in this little container here, which represents beliefs from other people. And if you take this sponge and you press hard enough, it's going to absorb the water. That is you absorbing the beliefs from other people. So that's why it's so important that you get to know who you are. Because right now, you are just other people's opinions that you have adopted and that you believe are you. That's what this sponge, if it was you, you believe that someone said that you're unlovable. Someone said that you're dumb or you're stupid or you're ugly or you're too fat, you're too thin, you're too dark, your hair's too short, it's not long enough. Your eyes are too big, your lips are too small, you need bigger breasts, you need bigger whatever. You have absorbed all of that. I remember when I was in grade school, I had a teacher. I'm not going to give her full name, but it was Miss C. And I was this black little girl in a white school, and they didn't want me there. And she acted as though she hated me. And I sat in the last row. And each time in math class, and I struggled with math, and each time she would have one of these red wax pencils, and she would mark my paper up with all these big red X's. And then she would place my paper on top of the pile. And then she would give it to the first person in the row. And then that meant that everyone in that row was able to see that Angie had gotten a 0 or a F on that lesson. You know how humiliating and embarrassing that was to me? So I said, I'm going to do something about that. I said, I'm going to learn my timetables because that was the lesson. And I remember every single night after crying myself to sleep, thinking, she doesn't like me, what am I going to do? And being so embarrassed, I said, I'm going to learn my timetables. And I began memorizing them. And I knew my timetables backwards and forwards, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I would do the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. I was awesome. And so when I came to class, I raised my hand up when she asked for the answer. I know. Oh, call on me. And she would not. She would not allow me to showcase what I had learned. And I remember years later, being an adult, a mother, how that memory affected me so that when a teacher attacked my son or one of my daughters, I was on her like white on rice because that memory, that feeling that I had from when I was a little girl was raised right back up. And I was like, you're not going to talk to my child that way. Because see, when I was a little girl, there was nobody to rescue me. There was nobody to stand up for me because my mother was dealing with cancer. And my father was out of the picture. So it was just me. And I went to this Catholic school and these nuns were so mean and I was afraid of getting a paddle. And I was so glad when that woman left, Mrs. C. And I remember when I first began addressing this, I broke down in tears because of the hurt, the pain, the disappointment, the discouragement, all those things that she had planted in me like this sponge and made me believe that I wasn't able, that I was incapable of learning math. And I found out that actually I'm quite good at math. And I wish I would have known and realized that when I was a little girl. So you see, a lot of times we say that the past does not haunt us, but I beg you differ, it does. And that's why you need to be able to address it. I would not have been able to speak to you about her because I would have had to stop and cry. But I have moved on because I had to learn to forgive her. And I had to learn to say to myself that I am capable, that I am amazing, that I am beautiful, that I have the power, I have the love, and I have self-control because that's what God gave me. He didn't give me no spirit of fear. Whoops, sorry. Not at all. He gave me power. He gave you love. He gave you self-control. He gave you that power too. So let's talk about those children, like I said, doubt. When you don't believe in yourself, then you stop everything from moving forward. It's like me with this diet. I have been saying that I'm going to lose weight for years. And I made every effort to do so, but I just didn't believe that I could, because I had, you know, gone into an area that it just seemed like there was no point of return. And then I had gotten so big that I was afraid that if I were to lose, I would have this saggy skin. And Lord knows, who wants to go and have a whole body makeover and have all that skin removed? And that could be dangerous. So I was afraid of that. And so I would lose and then I would regain it. And I have come to the point now that I have no choice but to lose it, because I have had a chance to go somewhere, an opportunity of a lifetime. And because of my health, because of the weight, I'm not able to go. God has created me. He has invited me to a table. He has prepared a dinner for me. Those are blessings and opportunities. And I have to decline because I haven't been doing what I need to do. I haven't valued me. I have the power within me to lose this weight if I choose. And if I don't believe in myself, then I will stay as I am. And I thank God that I'm not on pills and I'm not a diabetic and I'm not taking hypertension medication. But if I continue to do what I'm doing, I will. So that is one of the children of fear, that self-doubt, not believing in yourself. In Proverbs 23:7, you are what you believe, and what you believe you become. And that's why that scripture verse says, as a man or a woman think, then so she or he shall be in his heart. Another child of fear is denial. Oftentimes we say, oh no, that's not me. I don't have, some woman said to me, oh no, I don't have any self-esteem issues. No. Well, I think you do when you have blue contact lenses on, and I'm not judging, and bright blonde hair, and it doesn't match your complexion, if you know what I mean. Because you're trying to be something that you're not. Now, I wear my hair accessories, true. So I'm not judging. I'm just saying we all have self-esteem issues. We are not perfect. We all have something that we have to work on. And we need to know that, yeah, we have limitations. And to say I don't have any shows lack of self-awareness. So many of us live in denial. Many of us have been disappointed. I have been disappointed so many times, and we all have a number of times that we can be disappointed until we just shut down. Sometimes we get disappointed with the people in our lives. We get disappointed with the man that we're in love with. We get disappointed with our children. We get disappointed with the job that we're in. We get disappointed that every time we try to start something, something happens, something interrupts us, and we just give up. If you're trying to buy a house, you get disappointed because it didn't work out for you. Well, I'm here to tell you that you got to hold on. Whatever it is, you got to believe, because God said you have to believe by faith, not by sight. 20-some years ago, we were trying to buy this house. It took us 7 months. Notice the number, 7. 7 months to get this house. But I had claimed this house. Every day, I would walk up that driveway. Every day I sat on that front porch step. Every day I walked my baby, who was a toddler, in that backyard. I claimed this house. And every time that real estate agent had a moment, I came in this house and I looked at how I was going to furnish it, until God said, it's yours. And they placed the keys in my hand, and it was moving day. And come March 30th, it will be 21 years that we have been here in this house. See, you have the power to do and to be whatever you want, but you first got to